Take all the training you can get. Use every job you have as an opportunity to learn more skills that you can use for the rest of your life. Be aggressive about upgrading your knowledge. If your company offers any training opportunities, accept them immediately. Don't delay. Every new skill you learn is an investment in your own future. Everything you have in your life today is a result of your own choices up to now. Your current situation is a result of both your actions and your inactions in the past. The amount you earn today is due to both what you have done and what you have failed to do. Sometimes the things you fail to do, like completing your education or improving your skills once you start work, have a greater impact on your future than the things that you actually do. The difference between winners and losers in this area is quite clear. Winners always accept responsibility themselves for the consequences of their actions. Losers never do, but instead always have some kind of explanation for why they are doing poorly. Losers have a disease called excusitis, which we define as an inflammation of the excuse-making gland. It's invariably fatal to success. Once a person is infected with excusitis, instead of making progress, he makes excuses for every difficulty in his life. Winners are different. Winners are solution-oriented. They are always looking for ways to solve the problems and deal with the challenges they face each day. They continually try new things. If one thing doesn't work, they try something else. They never consider the possibility of failure. A major difference between successful salespeople and average salespeople is that successful salespeople work much harder than the average. In author Thomas Stanley's research for his book, The Millionaire Next Door, 85% of the self-made millionaires he interviewed attributed their success to hard work. Over and over, when successful people are questioned in any area of life, they say things like, "I was no smarter than other people, but I was willing to work harder than they were." Average people want to work hard. They intend to work hard. They're planning to work hard sometime in the future. They even claim that they work hard and complain about how diligently they work, but they don't really work very hard at all. The average salesperson today wastes a full 50% of his or her working time. According to the research, he comes in a little later, works a little slower, and leaves a little earlier. He spends most of his working time in idle chit-chat with coworkers, personal business, reading the paper, drinking coffee, and surfing the internet. Winners are different. They arrive a little earlier, work a little harder, and stay a little later. They work through their lunch hours and coffee breaks. They work in the evenings and prepare in the mornings. They make every minute count. Pay the price in advance. H.L. Hunt, owner of more than 200 companies, and at one time the richest man in the world, was once asked on a radio interview for his secrets of success. He replied, "I have started and built hundreds of companies. In 50 years of experience, I have found that there are only two things necessary for success. First, decide exactly what you want. Most people never do this. Second, determine the price that you're going to have to pay to get what you want, and then resolve to pay that price." Top salespeople are absolutely determined to succeed, and they are willing to pay the price in advance. Ambition and desire are the foundation qualities of all great achievement. As it turns out, top salespeople have above-average ambition and desire to sell. Top salespeople have a burning commitment and an intense desire to be successful. They will not let anything stop them. To put it another way, they are hungry. Average salespeople think in terms of making just enough money to pay their bills. They think about getting one more sale so that they can get through one more month. They don't believe in putting in the extra efforts that are essential for great success. Some time ago, a large insurance company had a sales competition each year in November. Everyone who hit the target, which was about 35% above their monthly average for the year, received 2 weeks vacation in the Caribbean as a bonus. Each November, during the contest period, the sales force came alive. They worked day and night to qualify for those 2 weeks in the sun. Salespeople who had average sales throughout the year became superstars in that 30-day period. One year, the insurance company went back and reviewed the sales of each person who qualified every November. They made a startling discovery. The average salesperson was selling 3 policies a week during the year, but in the contest period, they increased their sales to an average of 4 policies a week. By starting a little earlier and working a little harder, Those who qualified for the Caribbean vacation were selling one extra policy during the 40 to 50-hour week. The managers sat down with their salespeople and pointed out that if they put in a little extra effort throughout the year, they could be in that prize-winning high-income category all year long instead of just once a year. They showed how this would translate into income over a 40-year career. If a person started selling when she was 25 and sold until she was 65, and if the average salesperson made 4 sales per week rather than 3, this would translate into 10 extra years of income. In other words, a salesperson could achieve the same amount of income in 30 years that she would in 40 years, and she would have the money 10 years earlier. Sometimes people approach me at my seminars and tell me that they have no ambition. They say that they are quite content at their level of income. They make enough to pay their bills and stay out of debt. They ask me what I can do for them if they lack an all-consuming desire to accomplish more than they're already achieving. Reluctantly, I tell them that there's really no hope for them if they have no ambition. If they don't have the desire themselves to be more and do better than they are today, there's nothing that anyone else can do for them. I tell them some people are born to be followers and some people are born to be leaders. And I have to assume that you were born to be a follower. I've never met anyone who particularly likes this response. Too bad. Ambition is essential for great success. In addition, top salespeople also have high levels of empathy. That is, they really care about their customers. Ambition, the desire to achieve, combined with empathy, the genuine caring for the well-being of your customers, are the twin keys to top sales performance. Daniel Goleman, author of Emotional Intelligence, says that EQ, or emotional quotient, is more important than IQ, or intelligence quotient, for success. He defines emotional intelligence as the ability to get along well with a large number of other people and to be sensitive to their thoughts, feelings, and moods. He concludes that empathy is the most important of all qualities for building and maintaining high-quality relationships with other people, both at home and at work. You have empathy for your customers when you make every effort to understand them, to walk a mile in their shoes. A person with sympathy may feel sorry for another person, but he looks at him from the outside. A person with empathy makes every effort to get inside the mind and heart of the customer and to understand his situation and needs. There's an old saying, if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, you can sell Joe Jones what Joe Jones buys. Empathy requires the development of long-time perspective. Average salespeople think primarily in terms of making a sale right now, with little concern for long-term relationships or the future. Top salespeople, on the other hand, think about the second and third sales to the customer while still talking to him about the first sale. Further, they imagine selling to this customer 20 years from now. Everything they do in their dealings with this customer today is with a view to the long term. As a result, they are far more empathetic in the short term than average salespeople. Poor salespeople look upon every transaction as an opportunity to make a sale and then get out. Peak performance salespeople do not think in terms of closing sales as much as they think in terms of opening long-term customer relationships. The balance between ambition and empathy seems to be the ideal combination for long-term sales success. If a salesperson is too ambitious, he will not care that much for the customer, and the customer will sense this. If a salesperson is too empathetic, he will not be assertive enough to ask for the sale. Balance is essential. Customers today are smarter than they have ever been in history, and they are getting smarter every day. They are the most sophisticated, knowledgeable, demanding, and even disloyal consumers of all time. Today's customer has had so much experience with so many salespeople that she can see through a salesperson like seeing through plastic wrap. If the salesperson is not seriously concerned about her well-being, she perceives it immediately. She doesn't even have to think about it. She knows in a few minutes whether the salesperson is selling just for himself or if he is genuinely interested about the customer's interests. The very best way to express and practice empathy with a customer or with anyone else is to ask questions and listen intently to the answers. Dominate the listening rather than the talking. As Stephen Covey says, seek first to understand, then to be understood. The more time you invest in understanding your customer's situation, the more empathy you will naturally have for him or her, and the more probable it is that you will make the sale in the end. Top salespeople possess above-average willpower and determination to succeed. They have the ability to keep on keeping on, even in the face of disappointments and setbacks. They are willing to pay the price of success in advance. They are eager to work hard. They're prepared to go the extra mile. They know that there are never any traffic jams on the extra mile. The highest paid salespeople realize that every bit of success that they aspire to must be paid in full in advance. There's no such thing as something for nothing. No fast, easy way to be successful. The only way to get to the top is through hard work, sustained over a long period of time. Many salespeople are led astray by stories of people who have gotten into a particular field or made a specific investment and earned a lot of money in a short period of time. These cases are very rare, and in most cases the people who made a lot of money quickly lost it just as quickly. As they say, easy come, easy go. Most people make their highest incomes after the 40th or 45th year of their lives. Some do it faster, but the vast majority of individuals only develop the knowledge and experience necessary to achieve high earnings a bit later in life. The average 40-year-old in the United States has a net worth of $1,010. One-third of baby boomers who will be retiring in the next few years are broke. They have nothing saved up at all. This is all too common. Be willing to pay the price in terms of ambition, desire, hard work, and determination extended over a long period of time to achieve the success that you desire. As you practice what you learn in this book, you will move ahead faster than you ever imagined possible. Get rich slowly but surely. Henry Ford once said, "The two most important qualities for success in business are patience and foresight, and the man who lacks patience is not cut out for success in competitive enterprise." There is no fast, effortless way to make money. Get-rich-quick schemes only work for the person selling them. Don't waste a minute of your life trying to cut corners or create financial shortcuts. Chasing the will-o'-the-wisp of the quick buck is the surest way to destroy your character and undermine your career. The worst thing that can happen to a salesperson is to make a lot of money during an economic boom, especially at the beginning of his career. As a result, he gets the idea that making money is easy. For the rest of his life, then, he searches for the next opportunity to make easy money. He seldom succeeds. Worse, this early success causes him never to settle down to do the hard work and make the necessary sacrifices to achieve enduring success. Soon, he stops believing in himself, and to stop believing is to fail. Top salespeople have high levels of belief in themselves. They also believe in their companies and their product or service's value to the customer. There seems to be a direct relationship between how much you believe in your product or service and how easily you can convince a customer to believe in it. Your customer can never believe in your product any more than you do. As William James of Harvard said, belief creates the actual fact. This is why it is so important for you to sell something that you believe in, something that you consider good for your customer to own or use. Everyone has experienced having to sell something that he or she didn't think was particularly good. If you have this feeling, you will never be successful in a competitive market. If you cannot put your whole heart into what you are selling, you will not sell very much of it. Salespeople approach me continually saying, "I don't really like this product, or this company, or the people I work with, or the people I have to sell to, but I want to be successful at selling it. What advice can you give me?" I cannot help them. If you don't love your product and really believe in it, you cannot possibly be successful selling it. The competition is too great. If you don't respect your company and your boss, and you don't like your customers, you don't stand a chance against a sales professional who does. In fact, you cannot even be lukewarm about your product and be successful in a competitive market. You have to believe that your product is absolutely excellent. You also have to believe that your customer can really benefit from using it. If you don't believe these things deep in your heart, you will never convince others that they should have it. One of the secrets of success in selling is for you to do what you love to do. Top salespeople love what they are selling. They believe in it passionately. They will defend it and argue over it. They will talk about it day and night. When they go to bed, they think about their product. When they wake up in the morning, they can hardly wait to talk to prospects about it. Look at the top salespeople in the very best companies, and you'll find that these people are fanatical about their products and services. That is why they sell so much. One of my top salesmen once said, "When you get into this business, you will make a living, but when the business gets into you, you will make a great life." Truer words were never spoken. Keep your word. Top-selling salespeople are impeccably honest with themselves and with others. There's no substitute for honesty in selling. Earl Nightingale once said, "If honesty did not exist, it would have to be invented as the surest way of getting rich." Ralph Waldo Emerson wrote, "Guard your integrity as a sacred thing." You must be perfectly honest with yourself in all things. Live in truth with yourself and others. Be completely truthful in terms of the work that you have to do to achieve the rewards that you want to enjoy. The average person is built like a human lie detector. Because he has had so many experiences with half-honest or dishonest people, the typical consumer can pick up insincerity or falsehood across a crowded room. Everyone can. The worst fool in the world is the one who thinks he can fool someone else. A national trade organization to which I belong commissioned a study to find out why customers bought from one person or company and not from another, even though the products were similar. After investing $50,000 interviewing customers, they arrived at a simple conclusion. People bought from one person over another because they trusted that person more. The word trust was defined as feeling the salesperson would follow through on his commitments and fulfill his promises. It is crucial that you never say your product will do anything that it will not do. Never make false claims. Never even exaggerate. In fact, one of the most helpful things you can do to establish your credibility is to point out where your product is weak in comparison with that of your competitors. The top salesperson, because he has a combination of all these qualities, has a natural ability to turn strangers into friends wherever he goes. When you are completely honest with yourself and you practice the quality of empathy with others, you like yourself more, and your customers will, in turn, like and accept you more. There's a one-to-one relationship between being and becoming an excellent person and high levels of self-esteem. The rule is that you can never like or love anyone else more than you like yourself. So don't expect anyone else to like you more than you like yourself. How you feel about yourself is the single most important determinant of the quality of all your relationships, both personal and business. Choosing the right product or service to sell is very much like dating or getting married. There has to be the right chemistry or it won't work. It has to be a product or service that you like, enjoy, and feel is good for others. It must be compatible with your personality. Each person is different. Sometimes an excellent salesperson will do poorly because she is selling the wrong product for her. This does not mean that there's something wrong with the product or service. It simply means that the salesperson and the product are incompatible.